Hi and welcome to the Home Assistant How-To with Bearded Thinker. Today we are going to configure world tides. We'll start in 10 seconds. In this episode we are going to integrate or configure world tides. World Tides sensor platform uses details from the World Tides website to provide you information about the tides for any location in the world. This information can be very useful if, for example, you are living in a coastal area with high tide extremes. For example, Venice. Let's get started. First thing we have to do is we have to get the API key. Please note that this API key is not free. When you register, you do receive free 100 credits, but after you spend your 100 credits, you have to buy either monthly usage or you have to prepay some quantity of API calls. I think it's $10 for 20,000 API calls. Okay, let's open up the web page. As I'm not living in a coastal area, I will be using latitude and longitude for one nice Mediterranean city on the island of Vis called Komiža. Let me just paste the coordinates so you can see where it is. And as you can see, here we have the information for the tides. Let me just try and move this pin to the center of the city. And here we have the coordinates for the Komiža city on the coast. Now that we know what we want to track, I will just copy this longitude and latitude for later on. We will be using it in our Home Assistant. And we can register to get the API key. Let's agree and let's press register. And now we have to open our email, and in the email that you will receive from World Tides website, you will have to press confirm registration button. Now we can log in. We have 100 API calls. Now let's get our API key. Let's copy it and we can go back to Home Assistant. In Home Assistant, let's open up VS Code, my new favorite app to edit code. And let's go to our sensors file. Let's add new sensor, world tides, and let's configure our integration. Platform, world tides info. Next we have to type in our API key, API key. We will be using our secrets file once again, so secret, and we will name this world tide key. Next thing I have to declare, because I don't live near the seaside, is latitude and longitude. If you would be living on the seaside, this information would be pulled from your configuration, but bear in mind that the accuracy depends on how far from the sea you are. Maybe you've noticed when we created the API key or when we were copying API key, at the bottom you had option to define data and accuracy. I think at this time this is set to 10 kilometers. So let's start typing. Latitude. And latitude was 43.044 for Komiža. And longitude was 16.089. Okay, let's save this. Now you have to go to your secrets file, and in secrets file you have to add worldtide key, and of course copy there your key. And after you've added your API key in your secrets file, you can go to configuration, server control, check configuration. Hopefully this will be okay because I reinstalled all of my system. And now we can restart. And system is up and running. Okay, let's go to overview. Let's go to weather. And let's try to add our world tides information here. Entities. And let's press save. As you can see, now we have information from the world tide sensor. It is giving us information that today we will have a high tide at 1:30 a.m. We also have information about the low tide, and we have information about height of both low and high tide. Of course, now for you it would be possible to create some additional automations. For example, if high tide height goes over, let's say, 1 meter or half a meter, or depending on what is the difference between the shore and the sea, you can get some notification and alarm warning you that tide will probably spill over to the shore. And this is it for today's Home Assistant how-to with Be the Thinker. I hope you find this component useful and you will be able to use it in your daily activities. If you have any kind of a suggestion or a comment in regard to this component, or what component should I record next Home Assistant how-to, please drop me a line down below in the comment section. If you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell button, and I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, bye bye and have fun!